AJ is here. AJ Mizes is here, founder of the Human Reach. Great addition to a great day, game-changing career search strategy. There he is. AJ, how are you?
Good, David. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. And one of the areas in human resources that I've worked with for so long is in the recruitment and retention of employees. And a big part or component of that recruitment and the maintenance of employees is career search strategy and understanding how things change. The difference of today, comparatively when I was, a long time ago, over 30 years ago, is that it's the first time for careers that companies are laying off people and hiring people at the same time. And so it's much more capability driven than location, pay, I mean, all the traditional criteria of searching for a career, an opportunity, are flipped upside down. And it's very much skills, knowledge, and desire based, not the traditional criteria. And it's changing so quickly. It's nice to know that we have people like the Human Reach that allow us to stay up, keep up, and take advantage of all the great opportunities that exist. And you're the leader in career coaching in that matter. So I was hoping you could educate us a little bit today as a top entrepreneur and an amazing career strategist.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Yes, it's really interesting this time that we're in right now, right? We have a really weird economic cycle that we're in. We have the advent and injection of AI into the workplace, and so that is creating a lot of head spinning for executives and people thinking about how to put this into their companies. And so therefore, how do we use this to not only supplement what we have humans doing, but also to automate certain things to make our jobs easier? So yes, it's an interesting time. There's a lot of people that we're finding that are just stuck. And figuring out that they're reaching a plateau or that they're trying to figure out what they want to do next. So it's been a really interesting, I'd say, last 18 months.
And I think we always talk about transitioning over the last 30 years as well. Now I believe it's more expansive and we're expanding into different areas and capabilities. And it's not only AI, it's the virtual assistant world, the virtual consultant world, that we're not just competing with the 300,000 people in Zionsville, Indiana. We are competing with the world. And some people have certain capabilities that are unique or only can be attributed to in-person help. How are you helping people distinguish in their strategies capabilities that are world renowned or world accessible compared to specific niches? And I know this in venture capital as well. There's a great value in accountants or a great value in plumbers that we just can't get from China, Philippines, Vietnam, et cetera.
Absolutely. Well, the important piece is to understand first, like, what do you want to do and how do you actually create value in companies and do things that what I say, make your feet tingle when you wake up in the morning because you get to go do that thing. And so a lot of times when we're working with clients and they want to make a pivot or a shift, we have them do an exercise, which is to really think about what brought them joy as a kid, even like going back and looking at that pattern recognition. So was it like, did you love putting on plays when you were a kid? Did you love playing music? Did you love math class when you were a kid? Whatever those patterns might be. And then to compare that to what do you love doing now in your professional journey? And that might be like a small part that you're doing right now that you find a lot of joy in, but you want to make it like 80%. And what was a really fascinating study, I don't know if you've seen this, David, but the American Psychological Society ran a study 2 decades ago, and they looked at what makes people fulfilled in their jobs and what percentage of your work makes you excited to go wake up and do that thing. And the results were that if you are doing what you love 70% of the time or more, people were more often to be fulfilled in their work. So then what is that 30%? Well, that 30% comes from the things that we have to do every day that just kind of come with the territory, right? So as a business owner, maybe it's accounting and you don't like accounting, but it comes with the territory of being a business owner. But the 70%, like it's, running your team, having a great leadership injection into your organization, hiring, whatever that 70% is for you. And so we try to think about, okay, if we're thinking about 30% of stuff that just comes with your job, what's that 70? And looking for that pattern recognition, even going all the way back to when you were a kid and coming up with ways in which to pivot or to make a change. And so we've had clients come through the Human Reach who were doctors who didn't want to be practicing doctor anymore and transitioned into nonprofit marketing. We've had lawyers do the same thing, right? They've gone down this path for 20 years. And then we do this work with them to discover that they don't really want to be a lawyer. They want to use those lawyering skills, but just in a different way.
So smart. And as I finish up, I think of Bob Parsons, one of my mentors and friends who exited GoDaddy for $4.2 billion personally. And we agree that one of the capabilities that we share that can be developed is the ability to learn to love what we don't like or don't love, learn to love what other people don't like or love. And this capability is extremely marketable and valuable because that 70% that creates fulfillment can be expanded when we have a capability to learn to love what we may not love or like, or others don't love or like, in a committed, consistent behavior, in a persistent way, in order to achieve or pursue our own personal objectives, our own personal goals. And to enjoy that allows life to tell us its secrets. And if we learn life secrets or cheat codes, life becomes easy. In the human reach approach, in a strategy, is that part of what you do is empower people to find the light, the love, and the lessons, and what they may say to you, oh, I just don't like that, and then you are stuck because they're not going to pursue something that could provide them alignment with where they want to be or better. How much of the strategy is in teaching and empowering them to learn to love things?
That's such a great point. And yes, a lot of times when we find that someone's doesn't want to try something or says that they don't like something, is typically a brain thing going on, and it's typically a fear of change or a fear of learning something where the learning curve is going to be quite steep, and so therefore they don't want to put in the time. And so a lot of times we talk about your amygdala and your frontal cortex and your brain, and the chatter that happens between those two parts of your brain. That's fear preventing you from doing something that's quote unquote scary, and helping to understand, okay, what's the thought pattern that exists that's preventing you from moving forward, and then challenging that thought, right? Because with every thought creates a feeling, and that feeling creates an emotion, and emotion creates emotion. And so if we can back that up and come, okay, what's another thought that could potentially exist around that thing that you're scared about learning, and then okay, what feeling would be associated with that thought, and then moving down to the action that you could take as a result of thinking that thought, and then the result is quite different. So yes, it's a huge part of the work that we do.
A big part of what you do is the human reach itself, thehumanreach.com, helping people understand how to live passionate, purposeful, fulfilled, and profitable lives. If you want the best in the business, check out my friend AJ. He's amazing, at AJ Mizes, Mizes. Thank you, AJ. Come and join me on my other shows. The world needs more of you. It's a crucial time, a critical time for those that have great capabilities to step up and get paid for it. Thanks for joining me.
For having me, David. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.